Hi guys, now coming to the last problem of this mathematical expectation. We shall solve a problem like this. A random variable x has a PDF fx of x is equal to pi by 16 cos pi by 8 into x for -4 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4 and 0 otherwise. I have to find mean e of x squared, that is second moment, and the variance and the standard deviation. So mean is simply given by mx is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x into fx of x dx. Here there is a printing mistake. So here this x, this f of this should be written as x fx of x dx with integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay. So mx is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x fx of x dx. Here this f should be small, because if I write capital it amounts to a different thing. So PDF, since I'm integrating with after multiplying with it with x, that's why this f should be small letter. Now substitute the value of fx of x. So I get integral minus 4 to 4 x pi by 16 into cos of pi by 8 into x dx. Now I can integrate by parts, and also so after substituting the lower and the upper limit, I get it to be 0. Or without actually doing the integration by parts also, I can directly evaluate the integral by checking for the integrand. By checking for the integrand means, I mean, I would be checking whether the integrand is even or odd. So how to check whether a given function is even or odd? If fx of minus x, if consider a function f of x. If f of x is equal to the behavior of which order even, then I shall be evaluating the integral based upon these even and odd conditions. I mean to say, if f of x is the integrand, then if f of x is even, the integrand reduces to some other integral. If the function f of x is odd, then that integral evaluates to 0. I mean to say, now for simplicity purpose, let me do it like this. Let me assume f of x is equal to x pi by 16 into cos of pi x by 8. Let me assume that f of x, which is any function, is equal to x pi by 16 into cos of pi x by 8. Now replace x by minus x on both sides of f of x. So I get f of minus x is equal to pi by 16 minus x into cos of minus pi x by 8. Now cos of minus theta is equal to cos theta from trigonometry. So that's why I get f of minus x is equal to minus pi by 16 x into cos of pi x by 8. Now a clear observation of this minus pi by 16 into x cos of pi x by 8 with f of x would enable me to conclude that f of x is simply equal to would enable me to conclude that f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. That is, after replacing x by minus x on both sides of f of x, I get f of minus x is equal to minus pi by 16 x cos pi x by 8. Now, if I compare f of minus x with f of x, so I infer that f of minus x is simply equal to minus f of x. F of minus x is simply equal to minus f of x. This means that the given function is odd, because the condition for a function to be odd is nothing but f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So if such is the case, if f of x is odd, then the integral of the f of x, which when it is odd, is equal to 0. That is, the integral of an odd function is equal to 0. The integral of a function f of x, if it is odd, is equal to 0. This is well known based upon the standard definite integral property as written here. Integral minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx if f of minus x is equal to f of x. That is when if f of x is even. And this integral evaluates to 0 if f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. That is if f of x is odd. So in this criteria, the given function is odd, as I have seen here. That's why by using this standard result, I can directly write the integral as equal to 0. If I integrate by parts and do the substitution of lower and upper limits also, I get 0 only. So rather than wasting our time by evaluating the integral, I can directly evaluate the integral directly using the property. So that's what I have done. This helps me in saving computation time and burden, lessening the burden of computation. The burden of computation is reduced by using this property. That's it. Now I shall find the second order moment. E of x squared is given by integral minus infinity to plus infinity x squared of x dx. Substitute fx of x value, it is given by integral minus 4 to 4 pi x squared by 16 cos pi x by 8 dx. Now let me assume that f of x is equal to pi x squared by 16 into cos pi x by 8 as I have written here. Now replace x by minus x on both sides. Change x to minus x. So if I do so, I get f of minus x is equal to pi by 16 into minus x the whole square into cos of minus pi x by 8. Now again cos minus theta is equal to cos theta from trigonometry. Minus x the whole square is equal to x squared. So I get f of minus x to be equal to pi x squared by 16 into cos of pi x by 8. Now compare this f of minus x value with the original f of x value. So if I compare f of minus x value with f of x value, I conclude that both are one and the same. Both f of minus x and f of x are equal to the same function, that is pi x squared by 16 into cos of pi x by 8. So this means that the given function f of x is even in this case. So since the function is even, because the condition for evenness is f of minus x is equal to f of x, which is the case here. That's why using the standard result that I use for while computing the mean, I can write this like this. I can write this as integral minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx, if f of x is even. So thereby the lower limit becomes 0 in this case, which helps me in speeding up the computation. So that's why using the same criteria here, I get here the limits are from minus 4 to plus 4. So this becomes pi by 16 into 2 into integral 0 to 4 x squared pi x by 8 dx. That's all. Only the lower limit becomes 0. All other things remains the same, but the integral is multiplied by 2. So pi by 16 into 2 into this integral 0 to 4 x squared cos pi x by 8 dx. Now let me apply Bernoulli's generalized integration by parts. So this simplifies to pi by 8. Now what is Bernoulli's generalized integration by parts? I cannot use this Bernoulli's generalized integration by parts always. Only if the integrand consists of an algebraic expression multiplied by a trigonometric function, then I can use this. When the integrand consists of a polynomial multiplied by a trigonometric function, then this Bernoulli's generalized integration by parts can be used. Otherwise, I cannot use. I have to use the normal integration by parts only. Now here I am applying Bernoulli's integration by parts rule. So I get pi by 8 into x squared first function into integral of the second function minus first derivative of the first function into into the second integral of the second function plus second order differential of the first function into the third integral of the second function minus plus. This procedure goes on continuing, and the signs would be alternating between plus and minus. The signs would be alternating between plus and minus. But where should I end this procedure? When I get the differential coefficient after successive differentiations to be equal to 0, then I should end this procedure. That is, here I have x squared I have differentiated first time, so I am getting 2x. Then 2x I am differentiating again, so I am getting 2. Now if I again differentiate 2, I get 0. So 0 into the fourth integral of the second function gives me 0 itself, because 0 multiplied by anything is 0. So when the successive differential order coefficient of the polynomial becomes 0, then the procedure stops. Then the procedure of applying the integration by parts using Bernoulli's rule stops. Let me repeat. Normally the question that is encountered is, when should I stop the application of Bernoulli's generalized integration by parts? I am successively differentiating the polynomial. So when the successive differentiation of a polynomial becomes equal to 0, it means that it's an indication for me to stop the application of this rule, because 0 into anything is 0. Integral 0 is 0, differential of 0 is also 0, right? So that's why I need to stop at that stage. Now let me come to the evaluation of this problem. So I get e of x squared is equal to pi by 8 x squared for the first function into integral of the second function, first integral of the second function. So x squared into sin pi x by 8 by pi by 8. Please note, integral cos theta is integral cos a theta d theta is sin a theta by a. So here a is equal to pi by 8. So x squared into sin of pi x by 8 by pi by 8 minus first order differential of the polynomial. So here x squared first function. So d by dx of x squared is 2x but this minus and plus sign would be alternating always. So minus 2x, here I had positive, so normally here negative comes, that's the rule. So minus 2x into second integral of the second function. So integral of sin pi x by 8 by pi by 8 I am evaluating. So that is equal to minus cos pi x by 8 by pi by 8 into pi by 8 I get. That I have written as pi by 8 the whole square, because integral sin a theta is minus cos theta by a. So I get minus cos pi x by 8 divided by pi by 8 into pi by 8. So pi by 8 the whole square I get. Next, plus here I had minus sign, now plus comes, plus second order differential coefficient of the first function. So plus 2x plus d by dx of 2x, sorry. So d by dx of 2x is 2. So 2 into integral of the, so into the third integral of the second function. So I have to evaluate the second integral to get the third integral of the second function. So integral of minus cos of pi x by 8 by pi by 8 the whole square I am integrating. So if I integrate, I get minus sin of pi x by 8 divided by pi by 8 the whole square into pi by 8. So that can be written as pi by 8 the whole cube. Now minus, I need to terminate the operation. D by dx of 2 is 0. So here so 0 into integral is again 0. So here that I can write that, or I can stop it at once when I read the constant itself. I can write that minus 0 into the other function, or since it is understood that 0 would be coming later, so that's why I can terminate the integration by parts using Bernoulli's generalized integration rule here itself. Now substitute the lower and the upper limits. Lower and upper limits are 0 and 4. So if I substitute the lower and the upper limits, I get 4 squared by pi by 8 into sin of pi 4 by 8. So I get sin pi by 2. So I get 4 squared by pi by 8 into sin pi by 2 minus cos pi by 2 is 0. So this term reduces to 0. The second term reduces to 0 on the substitution of x is equal to 4 plus 2 into minus pi by 8 whole to the power of minus 3. If I take pi by 8 whole cubed in the denominator to the numerator, I get 2 into pi by 8 whole to the power of minus 3 into minus sin of pi by 2. So because 4 by 8 is equal to 1/2, right? So this gives me 1 multiplied by the constant factors. Then if I substitute the lower limit, so x squared, so 0 squared 0, so I get 0 plus 2 into sin 0 by pi by 8 the whole cube. So sin 0 is 0, so that would come to 0. So total evaluation gives me 3.03. Evaluate using calculator, right? But keep the integration mode in radians. Don't keep it in degree. Degree ಆಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬುಗ್ರಿ ಆಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನಾಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬಂದು ರೇಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರೇಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So I get 3.03. Now coming to the last part, variance is simply given by e of x squared minus mx squared, or x squared bar minus mx squared, or x squared bar minus mu x squared also. So since mean is equal to 0, I get 3.03 the whole squared minus 0 squared equal to 9.186. Now this is the variance. Standard deviation is given by positive square root of variance. So again, square root of 9.186 gives me 3.03. So this completes the solution of the problem, and this completes the entire discussion of mathematical expectation in 1 dimensions. Okay, thank you. Next class, next videos, we shall be going for another concept. Thank you very much.